with WWE stars frustrated and more. This is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. The Miz has finished his part in the filming of the American Gladiators reboot for Amazon Prime, and his WWE return is around the corner, according to Bryan Alvarez. The Miz previously said this about his relationship with WWE. WWE and I are in very good standings, like we just dropped Miz Golf, which is part of WWE's YouTube. Going over Britt Baker's status with AEW, Ringside News wrote that Britt Baker's AEW future continues to be a hot topic, but the latest reports suggest things aren't nearly as dramatic as fans think. After Bodyslam.net reported that sources have confirmed that Britt Baker is actively seeking to part ways with AEW, a new report from Fightful Select tells a much different story. According to Fightful Select, people familiar with Baker's situation say the rumors of her wanting out are completely unfounded. The idea of her wanting out of AEW or even communicating that to AEW was news to them, and they had never heard anything resembling that. Baker has been off AEW television since November 2024. She was originally set for a match with Serena Deeb late last year, but that never materialized. AEW sources also mentioned Baker has been open to returning to TV, but there have been unspecified holdups in those conversations. It remains unclear which side caused the delays. There were also internal discussions about bringing Baker back for a prominent match at Double or Nothing, but it was noted that it's unclear if those talks ever made it back to Baker herself. Adding to the confusion, Baker has fueled speculation with cryptic Instagram posts about self-worth and feeling like you're in the wrong place. She also appeared on Sammy Guevara's vlog at Animeverse, where the two joked about her long absence from AEW. Baker recently made another cryptic post, writing, "The day you become okay with not being liked by everybody else is the moment you'll finally start liking yourself." Potentially teasing a return to WWE, SARAYA took to X to write this: "Evolution is this weekend?" Mentioning his struggle with anxiety in WWE, Randy Orton said this on What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon. "Like we all are human. I was having panic attacks and it started to become hard to fly, hard to stay in another bed, and I'd be up all night. It was really rough. You can get by, but you're not going to be a pro wrestler or a pro athlete that way. During that 6 months when I thought it was over, it was such a shock. When I was younger, I felt so mentally strong and tough, like nothing could shake me. Then I got to a dark place and started falling back into old habits. I've got a wife and 5 kids, and luckily, I was able to stop it quickly. My wife saw it happening, and I was put on some SSRIs, antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication. I've actually been off them for about 6 months now, and I feel like myself again, but I needed them for a few years. I can't believe I'm even talking about this. I didn't know if I could do this job anymore. Even after I came back, my mind was all over the place, playing out worst-case scenarios. I tried to sleep at night but couldn't lay down because my head would start racing. I'd get hot, have to get out of bed, and while everyone else was asleep, I'd be outside walking around the yard taking deep breaths. Then I met an amazing doctor who gave me pages of info on how to handle panic attacks. I don't know if the medication ever really worked. I didn't like it because it didn't feel like me, but I kept taking it because I thought I needed it to stop the panic attacks. I was still having them anyway. Honestly, it's been about 6 months since I've had one. This is stuff people deal with but don't talk about, so maybe it's good to talk about it. I started getting back on the road after my fusion surgery. I've been back about a year and a half now, maybe a little more. I was still having some issues, so I told our medical team. I kept it real. This happens sometimes. It's not a big deal. I've got it handled. I let them know I was taking Lexapro and Buspar and why. I even asked if it was weird that I was taking it, and they reassured me. If you look it up, a pretty big percentage of Americans are on SSRIs, and it's about the same with the people our doctors work with. That made me feel less alone, even though I didn't know exactly who else was dealing with it. Just little things like that helped. When I finally got off the medication, it was funny. Off the anti-anxiety meds and no more panic attacks. It really felt like a weight off. Recalling his third DUI arrest back in 2022 when he was a part of AEW, Jeff Hardy told the Ariel Helwani show, "Rock bottom definitely for me would have been after the third DUI in that cell and not being able to wake myself up from a dream, because I'd had dreams about getting a third DUI, and that was definitely rock bottom for me. I didn't know what was going to happen, man. I was so afraid that I was just not going to make it. Yeah, in that cell right after that third DUI. Jeff also mentioned how long he's been sober, saying 3 years, 2 days, man. Matt Hardy added, his work on himself has been second to none. Just the place he's at in his life, I'm just so proud and so happy for him, because this is like the best version of Jeff Hardy personally I've ever seen that exists right now. During that same interview, Jeff Hardy was asked what went wrong with his run in AEW, as he said, honestly, it's my personal problems. Naturally, getting in trouble with the law. I never got a fair chance to redeem myself. At least, that's how it felt. Then I totally understood why they didn't want to give me that chance. Like, oh god, they can't trust me. I'm a liability. I was telling myself all of these terrible things about getting what I got and getting arrested again. And it's just so much guilt and shame in that. So naturally, I beat myself up over it, but I just don't think we got a fair chance because of that, and I blame myself all the time. When it comes to Darby Allin making a return to AEW, Ringside News wrote that Darby Allin may have reached the top of the world, literally, but now it looks like he's finally headed back to AEW. After months away from the ring to climb Mount Everest, Allin is reportedly set to return to AEW television any day now. Fightful Select reports that sources within AEW believe Allin's return is imminent following his successful Everest expedition. Word backstage is that Allin came out of the climb relatively unscathed and is in shape to compete whenever the company needs him. AEW had originally hoped Allin would be back in time for the Owen Hart tournament, but the recovery and climb schedule made that impossible. Now, all signs point to him being involved at AEW All in Texas on July 12th. While creative plans for him are still under wraps, those behind the scenes say they'd be shocked if Allin doesn't show up in some capacity at the massive pay-per-view. Allin hasn't been seen on AEW programming in 2025, but he made sure fans didn't forget him during his time away. He shared photos from the summit of Everest where he planted an AEW flag, fulfilling a promise he made to himself and fans. In his own words, Mount Everest summit. What a ride, thanks to AEW for everything in life. Thanks to the amazing team at Adventure Consultants and the Sherpa Squad. This was wild. The climb wasn't just a personal milestone. It became a statement about Allin's dedication to pushing himself beyond the limits. Now it looks like he's ready to bring that same energy back to AEW. During an Instagram live session, AEW's Mercedes Moné mocked those in her chat that said they miss her in WWE.
I miss Crybaby. You can watch Mercedes Moné every single week on AEW Dynamite. And in 10 days, you can watch me on AEW All In when I become the AEW Women's World Champion. Thank you.
Taking to Instagram, Rusev's wife, CJ Perry, revealed that their car was stolen, writing, "Rusev's and my G-WAGON got stolen from valet. Subscribe now to the relaunch of CJPerry.com and let's talk about it. Link in bio. Thank you at Passes, Boo, at Irwan and Equinox for having no cameras in the time for AI for the parking lot for valet cars. I'm still in complete denial that they would allow such poor security at places that cost so much." Confirming that he will be at AEW All in Texas, commentator for the company Jim Ross noted on his Grilling JR podcast, "My health's good. I'm cancer-free. I'm feeling good. I had a little booking conflict that was my fault. I was supposed to go to Knoxville to the Fanboy Expo, which is not going to happen simply because I'll be in Texas. Co-host Conrad Thompson then said, but you said you'll be in Texas, so I think that means if I'm reading the tea leaves here, is it official, Jim? Are you going to be at All In, AEW's first stadium show here in America? Ross replied, oh, absolutely, absolutely. I just got the date screwed up. That's my fault. It just didn't line up for me, but yeah, I'll be there. I'm going to fly in on Thursday, do our business on Friday for StarCast, and then I'll be at the pay-per-view on Saturday. Revealing how WWE stars are frustrated in the sense of Evolution 2 underperforming due to it being rushed, Sean Ross Sapp said this on The Hump. So a lot of the women that I was speaking to a lot of them felt like it was set up. That one, it was put on All In weekend across the street from a Beyonce concert during MLB All-Star Weekend when a lot of the hotels were going to be bought up in the area. They weren't necessarily thrilled with that, but it was hastily produced. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.